Hello and welcome to Caldwell County Today. I'm Paige Counts, Public Information Officer for Caldwell County. Today I have joining me Lee Cox, who is co-director of the exhibit hall and a volunteer for the Caldwell County Agricultural Fair. Lee, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And I know our viewers are thinking, it's early. Why are they talking about the fair so early? So why are we talking about the fair so early?
Well, actually, we're not talking about the fair as early as I really wanted to, because if we don't start now thinking about the fair, which will be in September, then those of you who want to put items in the exhibit hall or who want to be involved with the fair, which when it comes, which is September the 16th through the 19th, a Wednesday through a Saturday, then we're going to come up short. So prepare now for later is the philosophy on that one.
Right, because we're about to, or maybe for some things already have entered the planting season.
Yes, we have. And it's not just the planting season. What I'd like to review are, and this is going to be mostly about the exhibit hall today. This is the general rules. We will be taking entries on Tuesday, the 15th, for the exhibit hall. So I would like for you all to be thinking about things that you can enter into the exhibit hall. We have a number of different categories. They are photography, and I understand that there is a photography class that is taught at the community college that is photography, crafts and hobbies. Maybe you've been working on something in the wintertime that you would like to enter into the exhibit hall. There are field crops, which certainly will start to be planted recently, the corn, soybeans, small grains, and so forth. We have the horticultural products, which are the veggies, and that's almost any vegetable you can name. You know, we have pears and potatoes and peppers and greens and beans, squash, watermelon, herb plants, nuts, to name just a few of those. We have a department for flowers. Cut flowers, planted flowers, gourds, arrangements or terrariums. We have handicrafts, needlework, clothing, so that if you are working on a quilt or crocheting a sweater or knitting a sweater or sewing a dress, coat, any item of clothing, those can be entered. There is also honey and molasses. So if you are a beekeeper, you can enter the honey there, molasses as well. We have conserved products. If you can, some of the vegetables, fruits, berries that you grow, those are some of the conserved products. And we have a whole bunch of those. And eggs, and also culinary. You know, are you a good cook? If you are a good cook, we would like for you to enter cake, pies, muffins, biscuits, whatever you would like into the fair.
Lee, you're making me hungry. I'm just going to go ahead and admit that right up front. Now for your photography, your knitted items, your handicrafts, what time frame do those need to be completed in? Is there deadlines?
There are. This is something that needs to have been done during the year from the end of the last fair, which was mid-September, until the fair that is coming up, which again is mid-September this year. These things need to have been completed, canned. Obviously, the flowers are going to have been grown probably for much longer than that. But for most of the items, the quilts, so forth and so on, need to have been done this year from October to September.
So we need to keep that in mind. But if you are working on a project now, it might be perfect for entering in the fair.
Exactly, exactly. And we would love for you to exhibit as much as you possibly can. We would love to see this exhibit hall overflowing with items. Last year, we had new lights put up in the exhibit hall, so it is now lighter. We have done a lot of painting there and want to do more of that so that the exhibit hall is going to look fresh and bright, and the items that you exhibit can be easily shown. 4-H also is going to be exhibiting a lot of items, and they have their space. In the exhibit hall also, we have booths around the outside of the exhibit hall, and those are for rent. The nonprofits are free, but there are booths that can be rented. If you have a business and would like to advertise that to the public, because we do have a lot of traffic through the exhibit hall. Okay?
And we are going to put the guidelines for entering on the county's website. So if you're looking for the specifics, then it will be there for you to go back and research. So those will be coming up. And we will periodically share them on Facebook too, just so people can look at those and see exactly what's required for the categories they're interested in. But please do, if you have a gift, share it.
Absolutely.
I remember a house that was made last year, the replica, and I hope we can find some footage of that to show. It was just amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing the detail that went into that piece.
It was.
And there are some small entry fees, is that correct, for items?
No.
No entry fee.
There's definitely no entry fee.
No entry fee.
No, there are prizes for entries for first, second, and third place. There are prizes for that, and then there is a prize for the best of show. The best of show will be taken up to the front of the exhibit hall, and all of those from these different categories will be exhibited there. I also want to mention in these categories, we need directors. For instance, for photography, which you mentioned, we need somebody who will be a director for photography, a director for the handicrafts, for crafts, and for needle crafts as well, because these people would be responsible for getting volunteers, which we are going to be asking for, but volunteers to help them set up the area, to find judges, which we will also help with. Diana Jensen and I are the co-directors for this fair, and we will be working with the people who were the co-directors, who were the directors of the particular categories, who were the judges. So it's not a you've got this all by yourself kind of thing. There is help from Diana and from me about what to do, how to do things, and we need volunteers, especially when we are checking in items for the exhibit hall. And that is something that can be done on an hour basis, a 2-hour, a 3-hour, something that would fit your schedule. But this would be volunteer time to the fair and would be of just immense help to us. So please be thinking about that. And if you are interested in volunteering or being a director of any of these categories, and I can go over them again, but call the fairgrounds office, which is 728-7050. Again, that is 728-7050. And the categories are photography. Got to thumb through this a minute. Crafts and hobbies, field crops, horticulture. The master gardeners in Caldwell County are really the directors on that one. Flowers, we need a director for that. Handicrafts, needlework and clothing, we need a director there. The honey and molasses, the beekeepers, we hope will continue to be the directors for that, since they are the ones who have most of the knowledge about beekeeping. Conserved products, the canning, the culinary. We have judges for that, I think, already, but we need a director for that, for the cooked goods, cakes, pies, muffins, biscuits, yada, yada. And we need a director for the eggs. So if you are interested in any of those categories, please, again, call the fairgrounds office.
And while you're here and talking about calling the fairgrounds office, there is something going on now that relates to the fair.
Right.
You have a fair book that ads go in, so if there's a business out there that would like to advertise in the fair directory, now's the time to get that ad in. And again, that's a call the fairgrounds if you're interested.
It is.
And that's 728-7050. So Miss Lee has last year's book, but it's one of those things that it has all the details about the fair, and you give out hundreds of books.
Yes, we do. We give out a lot of them.
So it's a great place to advertise.
It is. I would also like to mention that there is much more to the fairgrounds than just the exhibit hall. There is the Andrews building, which is a huge building that is for rent, and the floor is now being painted for that, so it's going to look even a little perkier, fresher than usual. There is the livestock barn, and just the fairgrounds itself. We have an auto show that goes on there in October, and the fairgrounds and the buildings can be rented. Again, call the fairgrounds office, 728-7050, for information on that.
And you will see events going on periodically at the fairgrounds.
Absolutely.
So just keep an eye out for those events. And if you're interested in renting the fairgrounds, learning more about helping with the fair, because like Lee said, there's more than just the exhibit hall. And in coming months, we're going to be at the fairgrounds showing you some of those buildings and maybe how you can get involved and volunteer.
Yes. And so that you will be familiar with it, so that you can look and see as we film those areas.
Right. We're going to wait till it gets a little bit warmer to do that. But there's a lot going on, and really now is the time to be thinking. And you can enter, as like Lee said, as much as you want in the fair.
Yes.
And the more that's in the building, the more people that come, the more excited you are. And you can show your family, hey, look what I've done.
Right, exactly, yeah. And you'll have bragging rights.
That's right, so you will have that. Lee, is there anything we've forgotten today?
Not that I can think of at the moment, anyway. But, you know, we will be doing hopefully more of these segments, so if we have missed anything, maybe we can pick up
We can
on
pick it up then, but do consider, think now, what would make a good fair entry? Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to being actually outside at the fairgrounds soon.
Great, so am I.
All right. And thank you for watching Caldwell County Today.
Thank you.